All right, let's dive into Sally Hepworth's Mad Mabel, a story that completely flips your expectations upside down right from the very first page. It's this wild mix of mystery and really dark comedy, and it all kicks off with one single, pretty provocative idea.
So right out of the gate, the book's prologue hits you with this killer hook. I mean, it's a line that really makes you stop and question your own biases, doesn't it? Who do we just automatically assume is harmless? And maybe more importantly, who are we dangerously overlooking? That one question is basically the engine for this entire story.
And then, right on the heels of that thought about murder, our narrator drops this line. It's a little unsettling, right? It kind of connects being special with being unsuspected. It's her telling us, look, I don't fit in your neat little boxes. I exist in your blind spot. So who is this special narrator we've been hearing from? Well, let's meet Elsie Fitzpatrick. And on the surface, believe me, she is the absolute last person you would ever suspect of, well, anything. But as we're about to find out, the surface can be a very misleading place. Forget everything you think you know about an 81-year-old woman. The book just shatters that stereotype immediately. Elsie is no frail, sweet old lady. Nope. She's 6 feet tall, described as ostrich-like, and she's way more likely to call you a dipshit than dear. You get her sharp, funny, and honestly, deeply cynical personality right away. And this isn't just for laughs, it feels like a shield. Elsie's world, as you might guess, is just as unique as she is. We're on Kenny Lane, this quirky, cobbled street in Melbourne where she's lived for 60 years, and she is surrounded by, let's call it a very specific kind of community. And what a community it is. I mean, look at this lineup. You've got Pete the Greek, who lives for Aldi specials. There's Joan, the neighbor who seems to only communicate through angry legal notes. You have a mother-daughter team described as sex-crazed and evil. And of course, Elsie's nemesis is Sean and his, quote, deranged chihuahua. See, these aren't just neighbors. They are potential victims, they're suspects, they're witnesses. But in the middle of all this chaos, we get to the real heart of the story. Elsie's friendship with Daphne. This isn't just a casual friendship. She says it's like oxygen. It's her lifeline. And this raises the emotional stakes so much because everything that's about to happen threatens this one essential bond, the only connection that really keeps her grounded. And just like that, everything shifts. A totally normal afternoon tea with Daphne gets interrupted, and the tension starts to ratchet up from one single, almost silent intrusion. It's so simple, right? A piece of paper slides under the front door. Such a small thing. But this is the tiny crack that's about to shatter Elsie's carefully built world into a million pieces. And her first thought? It's completely ordinary. She just figures, oh great, another complaint from Joan, the litigious neighbor. It's such a mundane assumption which makes the reality of what's on that paper so much more shocking. But it's not a neighborly complaint. It's a photocopy. It's an old, blurry news article. But the headline is perfectly, terrifyingly clear. You can just feel her stomach drop as she realizes what she's holding. Her past is not in the past anymore. And that's it. That's the moment the floor just falls out from under her. The devastating realization that her anonymity, the one thing that has kept her safe for decades, is completely gone. Her past didn't just knock on the door, it slid right under it. So, what is the big secret? What has she been hiding for 66 years? Well, this is the turning point, where we find out who Elsie Fitzpatrick really, truly is. Get this, the funny, sharp-witted old lady we've just been introduced to is Mad Mabel, the youngest person ever convicted of murder in Australia. This just changes everything, doesn't it? All of a sudden, her cynicism, her sharp edges, they're not just personality quirks, they're a defense mechanism built over a lifetime of hiding this massive, horrific secret. I mean, just look at this. It really puts that 66-year gap into perspective. On one side, you've got the infamous teenage killer, Mad Mabel. On the other, the quirky 81-year-old neighbor, Elsie Fitzpatrick. Two completely different lives, lived by the same woman, and now they're about to collide. And this is where things get really complicated. This line brings us to the core question of the whole novel. Was she a cold-blooded killer? Or, in her own mind, was she delivering some form of justice? It forces us to look beyond the headlines and the simple guilty verdict.
Okay, so our heads are spinning from this huge reveal about her past, right? Well, the story doesn't even give you a second to breathe. it immediately throws a brand new present-day mystery right in our laps.
Suddenly, a new potential death is on the table. And who's the number one suspect in our minds right now? The woman we just found out is a convicted killer. This accusation, coming from a little girl of all people, suddenly makes Elsie's past seem a lot less, well, past.
And you know, it's not just a kid's wild imagination. There are clues. Her nemesis, Ishan, isn't answering his door. His beloved vitamin deliveries are piling up outside. His dog is going crazy. It's all just plausible enough that it forces Elsie and us to start wondering, is history actually repeating itself? And this line, oh, this is pure Elsie. It's so dark, it's so witty, and it is deeply unsettling. It perfectly captures her entire character. Is she joking, or is that a confession? It just leaves you completely on edge. Which leaves us right here with the central question of the novel. Is our sharp, funny, 81-year-old narrator a misunderstood victim? Or is she a manipulative killer who's been getting away with it for more than 60 years? The story lays out the evidence, but in the end, it's up to you to be the judge.